how did your production skills develop throughout this project? So during this project, my skills in production have improved immensely, especially in areas such as photography, layout design, and among many others. To start off with, I was not fully aware of the various components that are involved in creating a magazine. For instance, things such as camera angles, lightings, among many others, play a huge part in making a product look professional. One of the greatest challenges that I faced during my period of creating this magazine was learning how to use the Adobe Photoshop, because it was new to me. At first, I found it very difficult to use because it was very professional program that requires one to have some expertise using it. And before this project, I was used to using simpler photo editors such as Canva and other phone editors used on phone, which are relatively easy to use. So to become better at using the program, I decided to watch YouTube tutorials that provided step-by-step guidance on how to use some of the components of the program. This helped me a lot because then I was able to understand some of the most important components of the program that help in creating the professional image. Before making a final magazine, I also completed other preparatory tasks such as making a poster. This was very helpful for me as it allowed me to use my skills in the Photoshop and including Canva without having to worry about making a final project. At this time, I was also testing different colors, images and layouts, which helped me understand what worked well and what didn't. So meanwhile, I also did some photo shoots for my own practice, which helped me improve my photography skills. During this time, I experimented using different angles, lightings and poses, and it helped me understand what worked best. This was helpful for my actual photo shoot as I was more confident with what shots I wanted. And a big thing I learned from my mistakes was about colors. At first, I was experimenting using different colors, especially red, that I used in my preliminary, but it was extremely not easy to use, and it was also not very effective for my chosen topic. Therefore, I decided to change my colors to tones in blues and whites, which was more visually appealing and represented my chosen topic for mental health, which is emotional and requires a more serious tone. Another skill that I learned is how to design a visually appealing layout. Our teacher emphasized that the magazine should have a visually appealing layout. Therefore, I had to make a lot of decisions regarding the design of my magazine. For instance, I had to decide on the typefaces, colors and layouts that I should use for my magazine. However, this was not as easy as it sounds because everything has to have a meaning and an action. And besides design skills, I have also learned planning skills. For instance, I have learned how to create things such as a mood board that help me planning the style or theme that I should use for my magazine. I have also learned how to manage things such as scheduling my photo shoot. For instance, I had limited time for my photo shoot. Therefore, I decided to have one main day for my photo shoot where I took all my photographs. I decided to use natural lighting for my photo shoot as I had it planned to color grade it later using the natural light because it was practical and efficient. Therefore, my photographs have more realistic look with the soft lighting. Time management was another important skill that I developed as I realized that delaying tasks would only create more pressure for later. So I made sure to stay organized and complete each task step by step. Finally, I also gained some understanding of marketing and promotion. Since my magazine is aimed at young people, I would promote it through social media platforms, which is a very effective way to reach my target audience. I use the methods of approaching my friends and my family and to talk about my magazine, and that is how my magazine was able to have an audience. And to conclude, my production skills improved in many areas throughout this project, including editing, photography, design, and time management. I became more confident using professional tools like Photoshop, and I learned from my mistakes to create a final product that is both visually appealing and meaningful. That's it for today. Thank you.